again, right here, see right here, you know, they're touching each other. She's coming up to me. Okay, fine. Again, I'm not going to show any affection. She's going to start walking, so I'll start walking with her. So that way, you know, again, I'm with her through this whole exercise as far as, you know, being near her. So just in case anybody comes around her and she starts panicking, I can tell everybody else to back away. But I'm not going to lift her up in a moment when she's, you know, stressed or worried or frantic. Because what happens in most cases when you have a small dog and, you know, things start, you know, heating up as far as, you know, other dogs coming around, the owners will reach down, pick the dog up, and when they pick the dog up, it creates a chase effect, which the other dogs, especially if you have an unstable dog in your arms, it becomes a target or a prey, and then you're going to have all the dogs come at you. So the best thing to do is when you have a situation where the dog is panicking, what I would do is actually stand over the dog like this, and then just start, you know, getting everybody, you know, away. But the thing is that the dog is here on the ground while you're asking all the other dogs to back up. You know, you have this creating a bubble sort of thing. Once everything dissipates and so you see that right there, then she'll go ahead and come out, and then you go ahead and resume what it is that you're doing. But by understanding that picking her up and cradling your arms, you know, you're going to have other dogs. But the other thing is that you also have the potential of getting bit. So knowing and understanding how that works can actually, you know, prevent that. So never pick up a panic dog in a dog park or around other dogs, because that will turn the dog into a target, and then also put you in danger, you know, in the process of possibly getting bit as well. So currently, right now, like I normally say when I'm doing this, you know, my whole focus is on the dog. So, you know, if I'm not looking toward you guys, it's not because again, like, I don't care. What it is that I'm trying to read everything that she's telling me just through her body language. The body, the ears, you know, the hackles, you know, everything that the body does is a source of information about what it is that's going on. You know, how the ears are right now positioned. You know, they're not totally forward, but again, the nose is the thing that's working highly right now. You see that right there? Someone came by, sniffed, she didn't care, that's fine. Sorry. Now the other thing that I know about her that, you know, that kind of sets her off is, you know, when there's people around, you know, so not necessarily I can trigger that right now, but the thing is that, you know, when people move around her, you know, she has this, you know, excessive barking of nervousness. So you see how right now when I was walking around, she's kind of like, you know, her head's going back and forth, you know, trying to figure out where I'm going. But again, mouth open, ears back. Again, the tail is no longer all the way underneath. It is out, so it is coming out. She is getting a lot more comfortable. So again, like I said, these are the things I'm looking for, but I'm also, you know, pointing those out because I want everybody to be aware about what it is that I'm looking at in order to understand where she is mentally. The physical part is, you know, her just, you know, doing this, you know, being a dog. The mental part, you see the tail, how it's slowly coming out? That's what I'm looking for. Once I start seeing her, you know, be, you know, like Uriel or Nasir, I mean, you know, just the movements and how Gizmo's doing. Once I start seeing this type of movement, you know, in the body, then I can go ahead and drop the leash. But until I see that she's going to be connected to me in order to create, you know, the security part right there. All right, that's fine. Jackson's doing perfect. You know, he's not smelling, but, you know, he's smelling her, but he's not smelling and pushing his muzzle into her, which would be rude. So my thing is I'm governing exactly what, you know, that part. I want him to smell like this. That's fine. Smelling and then walking away. So that right there is polite dog etiquette. So you can see, like right there when I was walking behind her, the paw was in the air. She was looking at me, a little unsure about, you know, my movement as far as, you know, coming over her. Okay, at this point now I'm going to go ahead and drop the leash because I'm seeing that, again, the tail's coming out. Everybody's being respectful. She's being a little bit more calm about, you know, everybody moving around her. Okay, this part right here. Perfect. So you see, I'm not getting that snapping thing like I was getting just a second ago, because she's not as, you know, nervous like she was just a second ago. But she's also falling into the same mind flow like everybody else. You know, nose to the ground, smelling, you know, picking up information about, you know, who's been here. Of course, now there's poop here, so, you know, she's going to get information from that. So everything that she picks up and smelling right now, she's going to, you know, learn about, you know, who's here, you know, what they've eaten, who, you know, who's passed, who's peed, and everything. See it? This is what I want. I want more of this. See how everybody's intermingling? That's perfect. So she's not a bad case to where, you know, she needs an extensive amount of rehab. What it is that she needs to be left alone so that way she can, you know, perform and be, you know, a dog. You know, the nose right now is like I said, you know, opening to where she's not really caring about what's going around her. That was her biggest thing, is her, you know, being so concerned about what's going on around her. So she was more eyes than she was nose. See that? See how she's now moving around everybody else? She's not even caring anymore. See, and the thing is that I'm also not, you know, interacting with her like, you know, most people do, where they'll like, oh, what are you doing? What'd you find? What did you find? Oh, look. Oh, come this way. Come, you know, I'm not really doing that. The reason being is because nobody else here is doing that either. So the more that I mimic what everybody else is doing, the more that she can, you know, be part of what's going on, you know, here. So again, moving with her, you know, staying by her side, letting her know that, you know, I'm here, I'm her support. See that? Perfect. A little, you know, a little mild, unsure, but, you know, she went through it without any problem. So I'm thinking, like, you know, like we set up this rehab for her for 14 days. You know, I already see, you know, promising, you know, even maybe possibly sooner. But for, you know, what I'm seeing, you know, 14 days is going to be enough for her rehab, so that way she can just, you know, rekindle being a dog. That is going to be her success, because, you know, she's going to be allowed to be that. But the thing is that the pack that she, you know, lives with, you know, they're very, I mean, they're okay. They're not that bad. I mean, you know, just a little work and they would be fine. But the pack that she lives with is, you know, a little minor unstable. So I mean, she's not going to learn what she needs to learn, you know, from them. But of course, you know, with the pack, you know, who is, you know, stable, you know, she's going to learn a lot from them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start picking up some leaves to see if there's any reaction to that. Minor right there. So again, I don't want her to run too far or get a little too speedy. Step on the leash, just slow her down a little bit. Now this is a 6-foot leash that I'm using. Actually, it is my favorite leash of all the leashes that I have. But you know, again, this is a 6-footer that I'm using. So be able to walk around her, pick up some leaves, see what her reaction is. So, and the reason I'm doing this is because, you know, you have a small dog, and, you know, for her to see me, you know, I'm like a giant. So, you know, most people when they're standing around, you know, they're, you know, stomping or kicking leaves, dirt, or something like that. So, normal basic human behavior can actually trigger her to be a little insecure. So what I want to do is to be able to walk around her without her worried about me stepping on her or anything like that. Hey! So quick correction for my guys. A little small dispute, but nothing really major. So now I'm going to start giving her distance. I will not allow her to pass this area. That is one of the things I will not allow her to do. So So I need to start, you know, letting her know what she can and can't do in my place. So wait till if she comes in this area, then I'm going to say something. But as long as she stays out in the meadow area or near the feeding table or the field, that's all that matters to me. I want her to be more out there than over here. So here comes the correction. Okay. That was more for Jackson. See, in most cases, when you have like a big dog who's smelling someone like her, you know, she's gonna, you know, kind of sort of thing. Right there, correction right there. Let her know where she can and can't go. Right there. So just a light bump, nothing too harsh. So I want to be able to touch her without her, you know, panicking or seeing it as a negative thing. So basically, again, like what we did with Trip, like, you know, how mothers do with puppies. Right there. Move. And the reason I'm pushing her this way is because I'm trying to get underneath the shake. It's hot in the sun, and I want to be, you know, where it is nice and cool. So I'm kind of pushing her so that way I can get under the shade too. So as you can see, the tail again is coming up more. Before it was a little lower, now it's coming up this way. It will be coming up more and more once she keeps on repeating this on a daily basis. But aside from that, you know, 14 days will be perfect for her.